Hi, Dreya Star. This is Becky aquí en Paranduleo. How are you today? Thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, Becky. I'm super happy to be joining you today. I'm really happy.
Gracias, igual, un placer en conocerte. Vamos a hacer obviamente la entrevista en bilingüe. Casi todas las entrevistas las hacemos en bilingüe porque our interviewees tend to be bilingual and Dreya is no stranger to that. Bienvenida aquí, un placer poder platicar contigo y conocerte un poquito más. I was reading up on you and I was realizing that there's a lot of little pockets that I wanted to talk to you about in your career because obviamente estás lanzando esta canción en español y en inglés, pero tengo entendido que you're an opera singer. You started as an opera singer. Tell me about your start in the music and how you got into opera singing.
Okay. Well, I've been with music my whole life, but I started to take singing lessons when I was in high school. I was in choir and band and I did all the music programs, but then my choir teacher offered private lessons, and that's kind of how I started to really explore the classical world. And then I ended up going to the University of Florida to get a bachelor's of music, emphasizing voice performance.
Okay. Cuéntame, you mentioned that you took a liking to classical music and you studied that. Was it your natural inclination just because of tu tipo de voz o era algo que también a la misma vez como que te llamaba la atención o te apasionaba?
Eran como las
Okay.
dos cosas, porque la música clásica ha sido como la más constante en mi vida.
Okay.
Entonces ha sido el sonido que es más familiar para mí. Pero escuchaba clásica, pero no tanto la ópera, hasta que empecé a cantar la ópera. Y ahí fue que encontré esa pasión por cantar en un nivel ya que es como la cima de lo que puede hacer el cuerpo humano. Y eso me fascina, me encanta la técnica, todas las teorías de cómo se debe de cantar la ópera, me fascina.
I love that. I love that porque es algo obviamente diferente, no a lo que estamos acostumbradas. Por lo menos tampoco yo. Yo nunca había entrevistado a alguien que cantaba música clásica, pero obviamente es muy interesante. Siempre me gusta saber mucho de los artistas con los que hablo, conocerlos un poquito más en su lado, de carrera. Pero cuéntame, tengo entendido que tú naciste en Medellín, Colombia, te notamos un poquito el acento, tengo amigos de Medellín, entonces enseguida lo capté. Eres nacida en Medellín, Colombia, pero te criaste en la Florida. ¿Fue en Miami también o en qué ciudad?
Sí, sí, en Miami. Yo nací en Medellín y a los 5 años nos mudamos para Miami. Y he estado viviendo acá entre Miami y Broward toda mi vida.
Ah, ok. Ahora, cuéntame, la razón obviamente por la que estamos aquí es porque estás entrando en el mundo pop. Obviamente, como ya hablamos, tu carrera empezó en la música clásica, la música ópera, y paulatinamente cambiaste, estás entrando en el mundo pop. Lanzaste dos sencillos, uno en inglés y en español, que obviamente muy bien te representan por tu ser bilingüe. La de español se llama Tu Punto Final y la de inglés es End of the Line. So, cuéntame sobre estas canciones y por qué decidiste ahora lanzarte en el mundo de la música como quien diría, en el mundo de la música pop o la música ya más de masas, si quisiéramos ponerlo de esa manera. ¿Por qué decidiste hacer esa transición y qué va a pasar con tu carrera de música clásica?
Ahora llena los espacios con tu amor. Hazme toda tuya, por favor. Dame la certeza de que soy tu amor total, que soy tu punto final.
I've always wanted to bring classical music back into the mainstream.
Okay.
That has always been a main goal for me because of the benefits that classical music has to offer. And we consume music every day, almost all day, but most people are only exposed to classical music through commercials and movies and things like that, not through their own consumption.
Exactly.
But I would like to kind of be an influence towards a change where people have like a bigger scope of the music that they listen to for these different benefits. You know, like if you want to go out and get crazy and party, listen to whatever you want. But then if you want to like relax, have a good night's sleep, listen to this one classical piece, and then it's gonna help you. Or you know, you want to like feel more invigorated in the morning, so you can listen to this other classical piece, and because it's not something that you listen to like regularly, it's going to breathe like other life into you, and that's kind of what I'm trying to do with this project. But las dos canciones, End of the Line y Tu Punto Final, son un ejemplo perfecto porque usamos una melodía muy conocida del mundo clásico y es una melodía de Beethoven, de Moonlight Sonata. Entonces empezamos la canción como si fuera el Moonlight Sonata normal. Y después entra la melodía ya de pop y ya al precoro entra la canción entera con todos los instrumentos y es un mundo completamente diferente, pero también tiene como esa esencia clásica que se escucha con las melodías y con mi estilo de canto también, porque combino la técnica clásica y la técnica de pop, que no sé, soy como nueva a la técnica pop porque apenas empezaba a explorar como esos sonidos con mi voz, pero ha sido fascinante y el equipo que tuve haciendo estas canciones, el compositor Flavio Carrillo hizo un trabajo fenomenal componiendo las melodías y también como los acordes, cuál es la historia que cuenta la melodía y también la letra que la escribí con Cintia Bague, también es una letra que también tiene como palabras más clásicas, es como más poesía que letra, no sé, me parece a mí.
I love that porque es un concepto nuevo, es algo que estamos viendo que por lo menos yo nunca había visto, pero me encanta because I think, you know, the fact that you're saying that we consume music on the daily and you want music to also inspire you, you know what I mean? Of course, there's music to dance to and to party with that maybe in a certain way don't really contain a lot of meaning in their lyrics. It's more of like beat for the you know for the party and stuff like that, but I think that there's also the need for these songs with positive messaging because for that same reason, because we consume them on the daily, we want it to be music that will feed our soul and our mind. And I feel
Yeah.
like this is one of the songs that can kind of in a sense wind us down and have us really concentrate on what the message is trying to tell us. In these two songs, which, you know, viene siendo técnicamente, tengo entendido que viene siendo técnicamente la misma canción, solo que una en inglés y una en español, ¿correcto?
Sí, sí, es una canción bilingüe.
Canción bilingüe, ok. Entonces, mencionaste a Cintia Bagué, que la conozco muy bien, la conocemos de Telemundo, compartí con ella muchas veces durante mi tiempo que vivía en Miami, fijamente, so I'm very familiar with her. So I'm happy to know that you did work with her for this song. Pero cuéntame ahora, tengo entendido también que trabajaste con Julio Bague en estas canciones, que es muy reconocido también en el mundo de la música. Cuéntame cómo se dio ese acercamiento con él y el poder trabajar con él. How did that feel?
Oh, absolutely amazing. You know, incredible. I feel like when we're in the studio and we've like locked into that flow, there's nothing can compare to that feeling. I don't know, it was very special because it was an experiment for both of us. And then just kind of playing around with what sounded best at what point in the music. It was really fun. And I met him actually through my manager. And yeah, so she's the one who introduced me to him, and she said, you know, like with the idea, because she likes classical music too. Her mom was like a violinist, so she was always, and then she's worked in the music industry previously. So she knew Julio, and then she knows me. So she's like, okay, I know you. This is what music you like. This is kind of your energy. I think Julio will be the best fit. So then I met him, and then we met, and it went well. I showed him some stuff that I had done, and then he was like, okay, you know, let's try a demo. So a demo is kind of what started this whole project. We started with the idea of trying a demo with one of the songs that's called La Vida que Dejé. And when we finished it, we were quedamos asombrados con lo que hicimos, nos encantó, entonces ahí fue que decidimos hacer un álbum.
Y creo que también de cierta manera it speaks to you of your caliber and your talent as an artist, because I'm assuming que mucha gente llega a la vida de Julio and he doesn't necessarily pick everyone up, because it's hard to do so when you're that type of, um person in the industry. So I'm sure that he picks and chooses the people that he'd like to work with. So I think, I'm sure that for you it was an honor to be able to work with him, and that he actually took interest in your project and decided to kind of jump on board and help you with that. So you do have these two singles. You have an amazing team that you've worked with for the drop of these singles that have been performing really well. You've been doing media tours. You're here with me. ¿Qué sigue para ti en este 2023? Are you working on new music? Are you planning on dropping an EP? Are you just going to continue doing singles? What are your plans?
Well, I do have more singles coming out. Right now, there are 3 bilingual singles. There are 3 more coming out for this album. And then I will be having a release party sometime very soon. So that is very exciting. And let me see, we are in the works for the next project as well. So we've got lots of exciting things happening. And you were asked earlier about my opera career. I'm still working on that too, just auditioning and preparing for competitions and all of that. And so that's good. And just like with my manager, Marlene Cassidy, I didn't get to mention her name earlier, but her and I have been brainstorming on what else we can do and like what other directions we can, take my potential talent towards.
I love it. And I also love the fact that you're not abandoning your opera side. You're continuing that, because that is una pasión que tú tienes y un amor también que no necesariamente tienes que dejar ir. And I think that that's important. I think that um, as women in general, I think people are made to choose, but I think as women, we're made to choose a little bit more than men, where it's like, okay, well, now that you're going to be doing this, then you got to choose, because you can't do both. You know what I mean? And it's that limitation that people put on us that makes us feel like we do have to choose. And I think in this sense, you don't have to choose. If you want to continue to do your opera on the side, and then at the same time, you want to do, your pop, or you want to do one as a forefront more than the other, I think you should be entitled to do whatever you want. So I'm happy that you are still focusing on both of these projects. Te deseo lo mejor, no solo en estos 2 sencillos, sino también en tu carrera como artista pop, pero obviamente como carrera de música clásica. También te deseo lo mejor ahí, que salgan los mejores proyectos en ambos lados. And if you do have the release party, feel free to let us know. We spend a lot of time in Miami as well. I'm currently in LA, but I'm heading back to Miami next week, and we'll be there for an unforeseen amount. So definitely let us know. We'd love to cover it on Paranduleo. We'd love to be there and show support and in any way that we can. Así que te mandamos un beso y un abrazo hasta Miami. Déjanos saber a todos dónde te pueden conseguir en las redes sociales, y obviamente estas 2 canciones ya están disponibles en las plataformas digitales, as well as the music video. We didn't get to touch on that. So before we end, and before you say goodbye, and anything else, any last thoughts that you'd like to share, tell me about this music video.
The music video is super interesting because just like the song, it takes you to a whole different world. And the world of the music video is actually a world that encompasses both spectrums of emotions. So, when you're like falling in love, you got the most like high frequency, the super love, you're like falling for it. But then at the same time, there's a lot of fear behind that love sometimes, And so in the music video, we set up a setting and the concept where that fear is embodied by dancers. And so they kind of express this entanglement and then detachment of the whole process of falling in love and then being uncertain.
I love that because con el video musical también estás llevando un mensaje. Así que me encanta, creo que es un mensaje que todos nos podemos identificar. So I love that idea. So tell everyone where they can find you on social and, anything else you'd like to say.
Yes, well, Thank you to you for having me here. You can find me at I am Dreya Star on all platforms. And go ahead and follow me on Spotify and Apple Music as Dreya Star. I'm there on all the music platforms as well, all the social media platforms. Follow me on YouTube and Facebook, Instagram. So remember, that's the handle, I am Dreya Star.
Y lo vamos a estar poniendo aquí, lo van a ver durante la entrevista. Obviously, this is before it was edited. So we are going to be adding the handles here so you can make sure you follow her on all her social media platforms. Obviamente también descarguen las canciones or stream them, however it is that you choose to consume music. Don't forget to check out her video on YouTube as well. Y estaremos muy pendientes de ti y de tu carrera. Te mandamos un beso y un abrazo y muchas gracias por compartir un poquito de tu tardecita con nosotros.
Muchas gracias por tenerme aquí, te lo agradezco.
Gracias, un beso y un abrazo.